The Lions, the Detroit Lions. Yes, I'm saying this correctly.
Oh.
The Detroit Lions are a game away from making the Super Bowl. They just beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 31-23. Hey, I said this. I was at Cicerelli's. Shout out to Stick, by the way. He had me over there.
Shout out.
I said this at Cicerelli's. It feels like the last two games have been stressful. They've been nail biters, but I love it.
It's a playoff game.
Listen, that is exactly. We are in the NFL playoffs right now. There's no blowout. There are. You see that? Listen, this is what playoff football is about. It is a war. No matter what team you're playing, these are the best of the best of the best, and you are right there with them, and you're fighting with them. Next week, I promise you, it's going to be a one-possession game. It's going to come down to the last possession in San Francisco, and you're going to have a chance to either win the game or lose the game. That's what's going to happen, and it's going to be like that for every single game going forward.
Dude, I just want initial reactions before we get into like the, we'll break it down. But Lucas, I wasn't able to talk to you guys during the game. What's going through your head right now? Because there's a lot of things going through.
Going through my head right now is just utter relief. Because outside of stopping Chris Godwin, the Buccaneers pretty much did the formula to beat the Lions. Like Rachaad White got loose in the run game. That was what was making me so stressed out, was because, Mike Evans was making the big plays, but Rachaad White was keeping drives alive when you haven't seen that out of the Lions run defense in so long. And Anzalone didn't necessarily struggle, but he was a guy that I thought would flourish in that game, especially playing against the Buccaneers a lot when he was in New Orleans. But that safety trio, Ife Melifuanu, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Brian Branch, and you can even add in Kirby because he had a couple crucial pass breakups. Those four players were like the backbone of this game, in my opinion. You take one of those safeties out, I think the Buccaneers walk out of there with a W.
Well, it's safe to say CJ watches film.
I would say so.
Right away.
Yeah. Did you guys see after he got the interception, tossed it right back to Baker? I loved it. I loved it.
I didn't see that.
I loved it. Threw right back to Baker. And I get it was a tip pass, but you're right, Lucas. The safety trio, the pass rush. I mean, did they end with 5 sacks?
I got to check.
Because Booner, I know you bet on it, but they had 4 through like 3 quarters. I mean, the pass rush was there. Baker was. Aiden Hutchinson was in his face every single play. They're sending DBs, like Aaron Glenn does best. You had Brian Branch get a sack. Iffy, like you said, sack and a half. The defense, and at the end of the game, you needed a stop. Derek Barnes comes up, gets an interception, closes.
First of all, incredible catch from Derek Barnes. All game like Spenny the whole time was like, get Derek out of the game, get Jack Campbell in. He comes up with one of the best catches of the season. Both sides of the ball, don't care.
Makes up for the Dak play like no other.
Absolutely.
That's the first thing I was like, Derek, you won't hear me slander you again, because outside of the Dak play, Derek Barnes hasn't had a bad season. He hasn't had a great season.
He's had the best season of his career, to be honest.
Yeah, without a doubt, and he capitalized on it. But
that was one of the biggest plays of the season.
What do you say?
I was saying that was one of the biggest plays of the season on either side of the ball.
Without a doubt.
The NFC Championship game, that was huge.
To answer your question, when I think about Aaron Glenn, I thought defensively, I know the yards were there, which to no one's surprise. I mean, we knew Baker would throw for 300 yards. Mike Evans would get loose, but the points, right? That's what we looked at. And they only scored 23. I know they had an opportunity to get more there, but still, I like this defense. It's you can work with it. You can work with it. I know it gives up. There's a ton of yards being given up. It's bend don't break. But so far, why should I sit here and argue that it's going to come back to bite you in the ass? They're in an NFC Championship game right now because of it.
At the end of the day, I said this on the pregame show. Like, and Lucas, you played at a higher level than me. Like, when you have like bad, in my opinion, this is how I look at it. You have bad DBs, like they're going to give up big plays to receivers. But as soon as you get in the red zone, those like none of that matters because you're in the red zone. Like that offense changes so fast. Field is so much shorter, and that defense knows how to get stops in the red zone. They know how to force field goals, and if you just get a couple turnovers in the game, you win that football game. Like they'll beat the 49ers if they do that. Like go ahead, McCaffrey can have 60-yard runs. George Kittle can have a 60-yard catch. When it comes to the red zone, though, this Detroit Lions team, since that Chargers game, they have been dominating in the dude. I don't know if you guys remember. I pulled out a stat about 2 months ago, and the Detroit Lions were like 25th in red zone offense. They're top, or red zone defense. They're top 5 now. To jump from outside the top 25 and within a month all the way to top 5, you have to dominate. That's a huge jump, dude.
Well, you look at the formula they're using. Last year they were 8-2 with this formula, right? They're giving up a bunch of yards, but the points per game, their points are down. Like the Bucs scored 23, the Rams scored 23. Like the formula, and we know this Lions offense, has a lot of pressure on them, but they're handling it well. I mean, the run game was pretty much inept for a majority of that game until Jahmyr Gibbs just said, "Hey, I'm here. What's up?" and broke a couple runs there that changed the entire game. But if this offense is playing like this, Lucas, they can get away with that defense. They just need the offense to keep playing this way, though. You have to.
Yeah, because if Aaron Glenn just keeps doing what he's doing, when it comes to getting down the field, a lot of times through the air, they're going at the perimeter. They're just going at Vildor or Cam Sutton every time. And to Booner's point, when you get in that red zone, all those windows start to collapse, and the Detroit Lions are in a fast physical defense. And the red zone, the plays are even quicker. The reads are even quicker. So that's where the bend don't break thing just been adding up for them all season.
Lucas, what's the most important position on defense in the red zone? What do you think?
Like, you think position-wise?
Yeah, like a position group. I have one in my head here.
Defensive line, for sure.
What about linebackers?
I would say, like, they coincide. You know what I mean? But if your defensive line's getting driven off the ball 3 yards, your linebackers don't stand a chance.
Because I feel like especially in the red zone, like majority they're going to try and run it or they're going to try short passes, right? Like I feel like our defensive line and linebacking crew the last 4, 5, 6 weeks has just been elite. And it's like it's crazy to say because we were complaining about the D line, but when it comes to the red zone, those dudes they don't give up the run much, and they don't, like you said, they don't give the 3 yards back. Like they dominate, and the line backing crew is so underrated on this team, man.
And I know we talked about the defensive line. I know you got Aiden Hutchinson and Lee McNeil, and then obviously James Houston was inactive before the game, and they don't have the big names. I mean, besides Aiden, of course, and Aleem's on his way. But boy, they're getting pressure. Like the last against the Rams, quarterback hits. They nearly knocked Matthew out the game. His lights were knocked out.
I know what Booner's gonna say.
And then you got this game where they were in Baker's face a lot. And that's of course because of Aiden.
I just thought of something. I read at the bottom there. Our thing says reaction to the Lions beat Buccaneers 31-23. Can I say something real quick? If the Bucs just kicked a field goal, my score prediction was 31-24.
Well,
I was right. I had a vision
that wasn't score.
I'm probably the close. I might be the closest to it.
Well, actually, you know what, Booner, I'm with you. Can we take 6 away and I'm right? We can do that too.
I mean, dude, I'm the closest to it out of anyone. No one said 31-23. 31-24 is pretty damn close. Come on, what are we doing here? Good job, Booner.
All right, yeah, good. Hey, this
is
what we
take your victory lap, Booner. Take your victory lap.
Hey, we're in that. Jeff, if Jeff's gonna come at me for the Booner path and being like, "We're in this business, you have to make takes, dude. We're in this business to be right as well."
Yeah.
So if you're gonna tell me that, why don't you just? I'm right. Like I know what the hell I'm talking about.
I never said you did it, Booner. I love you. I never said you weren't right. I don't. Well, the score you weren't right. You're both wrong. But
what did I say about the Booner path? When I first started, I said if they get 2 home games, I'll put a Booner guarantee out. Maybe I have to go back and clip. I don't know what show it was. I said there's a Booner guarantee that this team will be playing in the NFC Championship game, and then all they have to do is win 1 game to go to a Super Bowl. Give me that. Booner path is like this thing is
alive.
I will see you all at the end of it.
All right.
Sits down.
I know. We how did we go? This is how it took a right. We were talking about the game, and then it goes to how Booner's right about the score. Now we're talking about the Booner path. So,
and I want to say one more thing too before I'll let you guys go.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I'm buzzing for the stream. I'm buzzing right now. Jared Goff, pay that man his money. He's gonna get about 50 million. And at the end, dude, he just went out there to go to an NFC Championship game. Did you see that touchdown pass to Amon-Ra St. Brown?
It was a dime.
That was one of the best passes of his career. That man, you pay him his money, and you know what? I promise you this, and I'm gonna put a Booner guarantee on this. He's not gonna go ask for over 50 million. All these Jared Goff chants, the way Detroit's backed him, he will stay here at a discount. He will take a player. D-Mac said it in there. He's going to take a player's discount. He knows what this means to the city. He's at the back. He's not at the back end of his career. He's already got 1 big contract. He will take a $45 to $50 million contract to stay here and stay with Panay and Amon-Ra and the guys he came in with and Dan Campbell, and he will stay here and he'll keep winning football games. That's a Booner.
I don't think he'll take less than 50 mil, but I definitely think he'll take a bargain. Like people probably if he really wanted to, like he could probably go out there and get 60 million from another team. He's not going to do that.
But Jordan Love, all those guys, they're going to get paid. Jared's going to say, "Listen, I'll stay. I've already got money at some point in my career. I'll take a discount. I want to keep winning in Detroit. These people have backed me. I will stay." And and well deserved too.
Yeah, but and I would love that. The thing I wouldn't blame Goff for is when he got paid. At the time, it was one of the highest contracts given out. But now you look at how it's aged. He hasn't gotten a new deal. So, like, he hasn't really gotten a taste of what all these other quarterbacks are making.
I got an alert today that said as soon as the playoffs are over, contract negotiations will heat up.
But
it will get done by the next season.
The point I'm making is I wouldn't blame him if he said, I want 50. Does that make sense? Like, because
I will give him 50 all day. That is, to me, the way he's been playing, that's a discount.
Well, the reason why
End of
it's
the day.
different, in my opinion, with Goff,
for it.
and I know people will break the, the mobility, which he did scramble for about 9 yards. Hey, that's new. We don't see
He
that.
got loose.
He got loose.
For a second there.
He got
Little
loose. The other thing too, and you look at this playoff run, you look at the playoff runs he's had in LA. It seemed like at least the year they made the Super Bowl, especially, like that was all Todd Gurley. That was Jared being a game manager. It feels like this run is a little different. Like, it feels like this run, Jared's the reason you're winning football games. And that's why, to me, it's like, okay, if you want to pay the man, go ahead. Like, in L.A., people, he only had one touchdown pass through that entire run to make the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Dude, he's the reason the Lions are here. Like,
especially that drive late, or it might have been at the beginning of the second quarter when he was hitting Laporta, and then the Amon-Ra touched it. Like, people were laughing at him, including me, all year about the Ducks. Bro, he was throwing heat.
He was dipping it.
I've said this all year, dude. I don't care if you throw a duck. I don't care if you throw a goose. I don't care if you throw a frog.
I'm with you on that point. I'm just saying today there was no duck today.
No,
there was no duck today.
That ball, I'm telling you,
he was locked the fuck in.
Brown. If you guys are right now, pause the video, go watch the ball to Amon-Ra St. Brown. It is one of the most beautiful passes I've ever seen.
Yeah,
it was.
It's string. And it's not just the pass, Booner. It was the timing of like what that meant in the game. Like that put you up 14. Like that was like the nail in the coffin. Like that play, beautiful throw, beautiful catch by St. Brown. Like, and that's what, again, like you look at the game, they couldn't run the ball early on. I know Jameer came alive late, but I'm just talking throughout the beginning. Like the offense is struggling. They couldn't run the ball. You lose Frank for a couple plays. He comes back. He's banged up. Jonah Jackson leaves with a knee injury. You got an injured offensive line, no run game. And Jared goes, hey, Ben Johnson, even his play calling, I don't think was great. Especially
I just would say, I want to talk about that for a second.
So Jared, I think
he does this every game.
Jared had to overcome a lot. And honestly, didn't turn the ball over either. So give a lot of credit to him.
Yeah, that possession where I think it was in the third quarter, where they did 3 straight passes from the goal line at like the 2, and then Craig Reynolds came in to punch it in. Bro, if Craig Reynolds would not have scored on that touchdown.
Wait, I was getting yelled at on the stream because it was 2nd and 1, and all I kept saying was run the ball with D-Mont. Run the ball. And then they did it, and then 3rd down, I said, run the ball. And then they did it, and then 4th down, I'm sitting there screaming, like, what are you doing? And they're all like, relax. And I'm like, no, 1 yard. 1 yard.
They can't to be like legitimate here. Ben cannot be cute like that against San Francisco. He can't.
Can we talk?
Yes, that's not like going for it on 4th down got the Lions to where they're at. But getting cute like that, and like when you're at the 1 yard, Chris Collinsworth even made a point. He's like, at this point, I think Dan Campbell's looking over at Ben. He's gonna be like, run the ball. And they came out in 5 wide and empty. And it's like, you can't do that. Like, I understand the point of like, oh, we like our matchups here, but it's like, just look at what got you here. Run the ball with David Montgomery. When you give him the ball within 2 yards, it's money. You did it with Jamal Williams. You can do it with David Montgomery. You did it with Craig Reynolds on 4th down.
Yeah.
And real quick too, like Lucas, to the Ben Johnson point, and I love Ben Johnson. He's the best OC in the game right now, in my opinion. But with that being said, the last like 3 or 4 weeks, he has gotten very cute. Like, remember Dallas, the first 3 quarters, you didn't score a touchdown until 4 minutes left of the 3rd. So like, and it's just because he's like trying things to where it's like, dude, if you just run the ball and just play your game, you win the football game. Like that Dallas game is yours if you do that. And it's the same thing with today. It's like, dude, if you just play your game, don't try and get too cute. And he's done it multiple times. And I've never like seen a weakness of Ben Johnson until the last 4 or 5 weeks, and that's just been it. And like in San Fran, you like that defense, you can't afford that. It's the same thing with Dallas. Like I know we should have won the Dallas game, but you lost it, and it was on the back of because you literally only had 2 good drives in Dallas. It was the touchdown in the 3rd quarter and the game-winning touchdown. That was it. The whole game you didn't move down the field. So San Fran, you can't have 2 good possessions and win. Like you have to have multiple back to back. And it's like, it starts with running the ball with D-Mont and Jameer, getting those guys going and open things up, dude. That's the only worry I have next week is Ben, which is, who would have ever thought we would say the only worry we have is Ben Johnson being too cute.
Well, it's for me, I was in the way.
Hey, yo.
But to your guys' point about Ben, it's more like Ben is so smart and he's so creative that even in the most simplistic situations, it's like it's like the meme of what movie was that?
Zach Galifianakis at The Hangover.
Yeah, It's like all this like he's sitting there going like, wait, dude, it's very simple at this point, especially like your 3rd and goal, 2nd and goal, or 3rd and 1, not even just at the goal line, like just short yardage situations. That's where it's like, all right, you're getting. That's why I loved the quarterback sneak. I'm like the 3rd and inches when it was just like, please just fucking I was like, run the ball. I like in my head, I was like, QB sneak would be essential here. They're not going to do it. Hand the ball off to David Montgomery. I turned to my dad. I was like, please run the ball. And they snapped it. And the QB sneaked. I was like,
he got like 4 yards.
That's
too,
why, after that first run where they were kind of doing, they brought it up multiple times. How normally they do the kick out block and Panay would go around them. And Levante David called Jahmyr Gibbs by his shoestrings. After I saw that and they stopped going away from it, I was like, what are we doing here? But that's when they went back to it. And then that's when Jahmyr Gibbs is Jahmyr Gibbs, and he got a 40-yard touchdown, and he looked like one of the best running backs in the NFL because he is. He put an all-pro safety in Antoine Winfield on his breaks.
Hey,
he had no clue how to stop that.
Did you see? I posted the video on my Twitter. Did you see Jahmyr Gibbs just throw Antoine Winfield in the end zone?
Hey, Josh Allen just got a rushing touchdown, Booner. Bills 10-3.
Let's go, baby. I didn't bet on this game. I should have, but that's the only bad part about having the early game is like I forget about the last game because I'm so invested in this game. Yeah. So I just don't put any bets on. Like I just totally blows my mind.
Speaking of bets, Lukas Klotz, we were like 5 yards and a catch away from hitting around that big one.
Dude, I swear to God.
I put that on too. It didn't hit.
Yeah. No, DeMont needed like 4 more yards, and then if Josh Reynolds, that one catch that got called back for the chop block, which was mind-blowing to me, if he would have caught that, the probably would have hit.
Oh my God.
It was so close.
I essentially paid for a Lions victory, and I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that.
I put a little halftime. I think that's my key now. Just over-unders at halftime. That's what I've hit. That's what I hit on the CMAC one. Made me a lot of money yesterday, but I made another one off of that too. Where I was just doing over-unders.
Boys. This is great, and we're gonna go live later today. Of course. What's up, Booner?
Dude, remember how you called me and you're like, dude, let's do JMO? I cashed out, right? You remember oh, never mind. I messed up. My bad.
Remember you told I asked you Reynolds or JMO, and
I accidentally put Josh Reynolds, and then I went back and realized it like 5 minutes later, and then I cashed out of Josh Reynolds, and he's the one that scored.
He's been playing really. They have to re-sign him like immediately.
All right, hey, we were talking about this on the stream. Last thing too, I don't know if we're done or what you're.
Yeah, we'll end it. I mean, we're almost at 20 minutes.
Last thing I wanted to say though, Josh Reynolds. I said we were saying this on the stream. Let's say maybe he's the number 2, or let's say JMO's the number 2, whoever it is, or Laporta. Technically, you could say number 2 option. Josh Reynolds might be the best, one of the best number 3s in the NFL.
Oh my God, that's exactly like
Tyler Boyd. I don't know who else like those.
Yeah,
two.
No, Tyler. I was really going to bring up Tyler Boyd. It's like when you think about the NFL, like the number 3s, a lot of times they're speedy guys and they don't have the best hands, or they're like a Julio Jones where they're out of their prime. You know what I mean? And Josh Reynolds is a savvy veteran that's been with Jared from day one of his career, and he can play outside in the slot. He can do whatever, and he's a great run blocker too. Like,
I think that's why. I love Marv, like Marvin Jones, like great person. I feel like I was thinking this the other day when I was driving to the studio. I was like, I wonder, like, I know he had some family stuff that ended it, but like when he wasn't getting a ton of catches and stuff, I thinking back on it, I'm guessing it's just because Jared and Josh just had such a good like rapport that it was just like Marvin couldn't like fit in with that. You know what I mean? Like,
and I'm gonna be real with you. Josh is way better right now.
Yeah, but I just think like
Josh, it's not about it's rapport, but he is also, dude. His
Marv's trying to get in on that, and it's like he trusts Josh like 100 times more. So it's hard.
He's a silky route runner, bro.
Silky.
He knows how to manipulate leverage so well.
That's the serpent, dude. He
can high point the fuck out of the ball too.
Hands, route running, size.
Blocking.
He's like 6'3". Yeah, dude. Like
and he's run after the catch. Run after the catch. Oh my gosh, that's underrated.
And that's why he gets so many first downs too. Because most of those times, like, dude, he can. Right.
He's got yak, like you said. He can run block. He is one of the most complete. If you're talking about number 3s, it's like any team. I mean, give me Josh. Give me Josh as a number 3. That dude's a stud. He's got to come back to Detroit. But boys, this is I want to mention this before we ended here. At least for us and what we've kind of been covering the Lions here, just talking about them. Where we were discussing the Lions to where we are now, like me and Adam, we had to discuss every morning a team that was 0-10 at one point. 0-10. at one point. And we're coming in, talking about the Lions. And now to where they are now, a game away from the Super Bowl. Man, Lions fans, especially the ones that have been waiting for a long time. I know people much older than we are. They deserve this moment. Like the fans of Detroit deserve this freaking moment. All the celebrities that are from Detroit that are coming back to the games, Eminem, Calvin, legends, Barry, they deserve this. So it's great, and we're going to cover it. So I'm excited.
I'll make a statement too real quick.
Yes. What's up?
Anyone who tries to hate on my Kool-Aid videos, it's all passion. Like
who does that?
as much as like you guys, like whoever's watching this and you guys hate my videos, I keep hearing people being like Lucas said he met someone, Easy said one of his friends. Like, listen, at the end of the day, like, just as passionate as you. Like I might be on the camera and I might be on the desk.
This is what he thinks about when he lays his head down the pillow at night.
Just as passionate as you guys are watching this game as fans, that's who I am as well.
Get
when
up, Boone.
Kool-Aid videos, it's not for the camera. It's not for that. That's like
period, Boone.
If you guys saw me off camera, ask these guys. Me off camera is off camera. So you guys see that? Like this isn't me just being obnoxious. No, that is who I am. Because I love
it is being you. You are being obnoxious, but that is you, Booner.
That's me, and welcome to my life. And if you met me in person, you probably would give me a big hug because I'd give you one too.
Here, you can talk.
All right, baby. I just want to address. I've been having a lot of people come at me for these videos, and I'm like, why are you mad about a video of me celebrating a football team that we share the same passion for? Like, you can't be that dumb. Like,
Booner's like,
we're going to the NFC Championship game.
Detroit, the Ford Field is the closest atmosphere in the NFL to a college atmosphere. Like
dude,
that gave me like some fucking Penn State Happy Valley vibes.
It is the best. It is the best in the NFL right now. It is the best in the NFL.
And I'm gonna pull a Booner here because Booner's got me. I said that when the season started. I said if the Lions win as many games as we think we will, it'll be the toughest place to play. And the reason why Sam and me argued because Arrowhead and he's like, I don't know about that. But I'm like, no, it's not because of the success reasons. It's about the fans.
Yeah.
The fans are that starving. And you see it play out that way. So listen, the boys, we all understand that. It's the toughest place. I get the conditions and stuff. It's indoors, but just in terms of the environment, like you said, the crowd. No.
Can't beat
what was the top 5 in the decibel record? Like top 4? What was it? Top whatever.
I wonder what it was today at the end.
Dude, when CJ had the
especially after that Barnes pick, bro.
And the Barnes pick, what was it at? I bet at the Barnes pick.
I'm gonna text Broder and see if there was something.
Bro, I bet it was definitely
record breaking. All right. And that'll do it. Thank you, everybody. Don't forget, subscribe. I know people have been subscribing a lot, and we appreciate it. We're trying to get to 1,000.
Sub?
Hey, 1,000 by Valentine's Day is the goal. We're just laying it out. It's out there. It's out in the universe. 1,000 by Valentine's
My birthday's on the 20th. We can make it 1,000 by Lucas's birthday.
You know what? Let's do that. 1,000 by Lucas's birthday. I mean, subscribe, like the video, comment down below. What'd you think of this game? Just the how historic it was. Leave your thoughts. And of course, check out my guys on social media as well at Lukas Klotz #1 for the L, and of course at Booner Sports. So you can follow me if you choose to do
NFC Championship game.
If you want to, you can follow Jeff. It's not mandatory, but
if NFC Championship game.
And then there you go. Booner Path is alive.
Just saying shit. NFC Championship game.
He's a soundboard. Yeah, baby. Lions, baby. All right, we'll catch you guys.
End of the path.